Well, I've just made a dangerous mistake while ripping. I've just injured myself on the 15-inch rip saw. I'm bleeding a little bit, and because I did something stupid. So I'm okay, but I just thought I'd share with you guys what I did so that you don't do it too. Now here is the beauty. Incredibly good quality machine. It's just gorgeous. This is a 𝗦𝗿𝗵𝗶𝗏𝗏. When we took it apart a few weeks ago to service it, I can't remember what the plate was, but I think it was from the 1950s, but it's a seriously heavy duty piece of kit. You know, they really don't make them like that anymore. But when you're using a rip saw or ripping with a saw, the dangerous position to be in is here, feeding it in, because if you get it in on an angle or you do something wrong, it's going to come back at you. Conversely, the other end is actually, you know, relatively safe. In sawmills, it was always the guy at this end of the piece of wood that would be the one who was injured or killed when it, you know, chucked back or did something wrong. But anyway, this time it's not because I've angled the wood wrong or anything like that. It's because I wasn't paying attention to the spring. See, there's no gap there, and there's no gap there, but there is this gap here. So what was happening was that the saw is grabbing the wood, it's pulling the wood down, and it's flexing it against that bow. And then the energy that was stored in the wood is then being released as the saw tooth disengages with the wood, and it flexes up, which means it's moving up when the next tooth grabs it, and that pulls it down. And so what happened is it started to shudder up and down, and then it bounced, and that's when I got injured. And it was just it's a simple thing to do the right way, is that you just cut from the other side, so that instead of the piece of wood going over the saw like this, it goes over the saw like that. And that way, the point where the saw is in contact with the wood is in contact with the table of the saw. So I did get injured. I'm just going to have a blood blister. So all things considered, I've got it off really lightly, which is a relief, because when something goes wrong with a saw of this size, it can be really bad. Now what to do? I'm halfway through a cut, so I don't want to restart the saw and cut through this bow the way I've been doing it, so I'll show you what I'm going to do the right way. I can't just take the wood out and turn it over, because that means the cuts aren't going to align properly. So what I'm going to do is I've taken the wood out, and then I'm going to turn it end for end, and that means I'm cutting off from the same face. I'm just starting at the other end, and as I feed in, I'll have the ends of the wood bending up, which means that where I'm cutting will be in contact with the surface of the table. I'm self-taught, so I've picked up a lot of these things from talking to old timers and well, making mistakes. And so part of this channel is to give you guys encouragement, but it's also to give you, well, hopefully, you know, share lessons like this so that you learn something the easy way rather than the hard, bloody way. Anyway, I'm going to find a needle and pop this blood blister, because I can already feel the pressure building up. Catch you guys soon, and I'm sure something like this has happened to you if you've been working with saws for a while. I would really appreciate you putting some of the stories in the comments, because for new people who are just getting into woodworking, just getting into machine tools, maybe your story, your experience is going to help them. So yeah, catch you guys later. Just one more little quick tip before I go. Often when you've had to do something like this, you'll get a little step in the wood. So if you're using machine tools to dress the wood up, make sure you put this face through the thicknesser first, so that it doesn't muck up the evenness of your wood. Now some of you might think that that's incredibly obvious, and you know, why bother telling people? Well, when you don't have a clue about how to do these things, you don't have a clue, and it's not until someone points it out that you go, oh yeah, I should have thought of that. So yeah, don't scoff if you already knew that.